Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. This is Ozark Living, where normally we get to talk about all the great things the Ozark has to offer in the lake and the amenities and the weather. But today's topic and video, we're going to talk about some reasons why not to move to the Ozarks. Let's check it out. Alright, hey guys, my name is Scott, and if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome. And while you're here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button along with that notification bell, because every Tuesday and Thursday, I'm dropping a new video telling you everything you need to know about moving to or living in Lake of the Ozarks. We are also a group of licensed lenders and agents, so as much as I love making these videos, I would love even more to help you with your lending or real estate needs. So the number popping up below, I am the guy who answers the phone calls, the text messages, and the emails. If there's a question, a scenario, or something I can do to help you, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. So until then, we're going to talk today about some reasons not to move to the Ozarks. When normally we're highlighting all the things we love about here, we're going to talk a little bit about some reasons not to move here. And so, hey, first off, let's figure out where are we, and let's pull up a map of Missouri. On one side of the state, you're going to have Kansas City. On the other side, you're going to have St. Louis. So go in the middle, go down a little bit, and that's where you're going to find the lake. So one of the reasons that you might not want to move here is because of location, right? We are far away from those major metropolitan type cities. And so you have to understand that you're going to be down in a rural area, a remote environment. And that's where you're going to find probably the first reason why not to move here is just location. This is a very remote area. And if you are not familiar with that, or that's not your style, then you might want to rethink about moving here or visiting or traveling. If you live in a big city and you like big city feel, you like everything really close, you like the vibe, you like the fast pace or the hustle, you need, I don't know, major sporting team events, or you like the tech scene or the art scene or just the fashion scene or whatever that scene looks like, then this ain't going to be the place for you. You are certainly not going to want to move here if you like that big city concrete jungle type feel. The Ozarks is going to be the complete opposite of that. Or maybe you are somebody that's in that big city feel and you're looking for something different, then maybe this is a reason to move to the Ozarks. But having a good understanding of the environment that you're about to get into is a reason to maybe not move here, but I don't know, maybe again, it's a reason to move here. If you're looking for a little bit of separation and a little bit of breathing room, or you want some fresh air and some nature and some lake and some sunshine, then maybe this is a good place, right? I know there's been times where I have spent, years in a downtown area with no car and rocking subways and walking and doing those kinds of things. And there's just something about that pace of life versus this pace of life. And having the ability to disconnect a little bit and take a break and walk slow or whatever that is something that's very appealing. Now, again, if you are somebody who needs fast pace, needs hustle and bustle, and needs big city life, then you're probably not even watching this video. Of course, why would you watch this video if that's not what your scene's going to be? So again, something to think about is obviously just location. This is going to be a remote area. This is going to be your nature environment. If you want big city type stuff, we ain't got it. So another thing that kind of dubs off of location is going to be what we talk about with social isolation. And if you're someone who is used to a big city feel, or you're used to a lot of congestion around you, you're going to have the opposite of that. And sometimes when you're moving down here, you're moving to a new area. If you're in a big city, it might be easy to do because you have neighbors that are super close, right? Here you're going to have some distance and some separation between you and your neighbors. And so it's going to be really important to make sure that you're engaging in your community. And if you got a family and kiddos, then making sure you're engaged in their school. If you go to church on Sundays, cool, engage in your church and your community. If you like to do volunteering, then cool, you got to immerse yourself into that. Or whatever it is that you're into, then make sure when you're out there doing those things, then you're obviously talking to those people around you. It could be kind of easy to come down here and really isolate yourself inside your home, and you might not have the interactions that you need. So if you are always used to having everybody like on top of you inside of a square, inside of a major city. And I don't know, maybe you want a little bit of separation. Maybe you want a little bit of elbow space and nature and some fun stuff. Then maybe it's a reason to come down here, but something to think about, a reason not to, a reason to, right? That's going to be subjective to who you are and what you're looking for. Another reason why you might not want to move down here just could be the work environment. And that just goes back to, again, who you are and what you do for work. And there's plenty of jobs, there's plenty of things to do, but if you have a very specific skill set that requires you to be in a very specific city or around a group of people, then that'll be something to think about and consider. Now, a lot of the folks that we talk to nowadays have the ability to work remotely. And so if you are in maybe tech or finance or an industry that allows you to just work wherever you have Wi-Fi, then maybe this is a great area where you can come down and have nature and have scenery and have the lake and have all of the amenities. You're able to plug in and do all of your work. You have an office down here. You don't have to put yourself in the big city. If you are working in tech or finance or an industry like that, then you don't have to be in that city. Then maybe it is a good option for you to come down and mix the both worlds, right? And my job's no different. Like, I have to be plugged into Wi-Fi. There's nothing that I can do that I can step away from a Wi-Fi connection or a cell signal. And so being able to be there for clients and coworkers and whatever that looks like, then I have to be, connected. And that's good and that's bad, but ultimately, if that's someone like you, then you just got to make sure that you have that capability. And so if you're someone that has to be plugged into Wi-Fi because your job, it relies on it, and you have to have a Wi-Fi connection, and that's no different than me, right? I'm in the mortgage and real estate industry, and so I have to be connected to Wi-Fi all the time, and being down here allows me to do that. I can literally do my job anywhere that I go. The one downside is I have to be connected to Wi-Fi, so I can go on vacations, I can travel, I can go wherever I want to go, but it's important to make sure that I'm still connected to my clients and my coworkers and the things that I have to do on a daily basis. So depending on what your job is and how you earn your income, and if you're trying to purchase here as an owner-occupied home, and your income is derived from another city somewhere else, that's a conversation that we need to have. If you are looking to purchase owner-occupied, but your job allows you to work remotely, then cool, you're able to do that. If this is a vacation home or a second home, then you can live and work wherever you want, then, right, that's an easy transition and a purchase to make. And so, again, it just depends on who you are, what you're looking for. One of those reasons to think about maybe moving down is just your job and what that looks like, and do you have the capabilities to do it anywhere, or do you have to have boots on ground in the city that you're living in? So with location, and with jobs comes the capabilities for Wi-Fi and cell signals, and maybe that's a reason to move down here. And I don't know, but for some of us that are always plugged in and always connected, maybe moving down here and not having a cell phone signal or not being connected to Wi-Fi every single second of the day could be a good thing, right? So maybe bad, maybe good, don't know, but certainly the Wi-Fi and cell coverage here is going to be something to consider. And if you have to be plugged in and you have to have high speed constantly, cool. Depending on where you're trying to purchase on the lake, we have to make sure that you have a very specific carrier to make sure that you have the fastest Wi-Fi speeds. And you can always run satellite type stuff, and you just have to figure out is that satellite Wi-Fi going to be conducive to the type of speed that I need for my job? And sometimes, depending on the industry and the job we have to have very high speed internet in order to do it. We don't want a lag or a delay, especially if you're in kind of that tech industry. But if you need to have that high speed, then depending on where you purchase, we have to make sure that you have the right carrier and coverage to do it. If you don't need a little bit of Wi-Fi, or you're not too concerned with cell signals, then maybe it's a good thing. Or maybe you're in an environment where you're constantly plugged in all the time and you need to disconnect a little bit. Then who knows, maybe the Ozarks is actually a good reason to move. So we talked about location on where the Ozarks is. We talked about a little bit of social isolation and making sure that we're connected to our community. We talked about, depending on who you are and what you need, your job and your work environment has got to be conducive to being down here or working remotely. If you are working remotely, then we got to make sure we're plugged in with our cell coverage or Wi-Fi signals. That stuff's got to be dialed in. And then while you're trying to figure out all of those things, so the last reason to think about not moving to the Ozarks is if you have any type of concern, or maybe you got some sort of weird phobia with bugs and critters and some spiders. if you're not used to that, and that's something that is again a phobia or a concern of yours, then maybe this bug thing should be the #1 reason why you might not want to move down here. And I've talked about it before. When you come down, you have to be used to being in kind of that remote rural environment. You're in the mountains, there's a lot of trees, there's a lot of nature, which means there's going to be a lot of bugs. Now, we're also going to shoot this in real time, so as you're watching this video, it's Wednesday, you're going to watch this video on Thursday. And I've talked about it before with our previous home of, some spiders and my wife and the kids and all this stuff that, freaks them out. But hey, this year we went through the bug protection program in a sense, and what we've done is already power wash the house. So this month in March, we power wash the deck, we power wash the house, and then the bug guy is going to come out and spray every month. I think it's a monthly thing. So hey, a reason to think about not moving here is going to be because of the bug game, but I'll also be able to tell you from firsthand experience how the spraying options or how the mitigation or treatment of bugs could be an advantage. And last year we had more than we liked, and hopefully this year we have less. And so just something to think about and consider. Again, if you got some sort of weird phobia, or if you can't handle some little bit of creepy and crawlies once in a while, then probably not going to be your jam. But for the most part, it's not that bad, and ultimately there's way too many positive things that this lake has to offer, or this area has to offer, that a couple little spiders aren't going to keep us away. So as you're making the progress or thinking about the reasons to move here, not move here, pros and cons, whatever that is, hey, let's have an understanding of where we are, right? So you're away from the major scene. If you need major scene, if you need to be in the spotlight, if you need that bouginess, we're not going to have it. So don't come down here looking for Rodeo Drive, because it ain't going to happen. But understand where you are in that environment. Understand that if you need to be connected to people and you want to build community, then you have to get involved in the stuff that's around you. If you struggle in that, that's just something to think about, and maybe a reason not to move. Also, if you're in that city environment, understand when you come down here, you're going to have a little bit of elbow space from you and your neighbors, and so you got to make sure that you are engaged in the community. You're trying to build relationships. It's not going to happen as easy if you're in a big city environment. Hey, when you're thinking about moving, let's talk about those jobs. Do you have the ability to work remotely? If not, then you have to make sure that a reason to come down here is that you have employment, you have your skill set that allows you to work while you're here. And if that job or employment requires you to have a phenomenal cell signal and the most powerful Wi-Fi, well, you might need to rethink about that, or you might need to give us a call so we know that where you purchase, you have the signals that you need to do the job that you need to do. And then while you're down here, you got to take a look at the bug game, right? So come down in the middle of summertime, hang out with us, give us a call. We'll come hang out. We'll show you around to some properties and some different areas of the lake, but we'll also engage you into nature and see how you handle some of the bugs. And I'll be the first one to tell you as time goes on in this video, when we did the power washing, we did the bug treatment. So if you're looking to purchase an owner-occupied single-family home down here, I'll be able to tell you firsthand experience on how that bug game works. And so again, we always end these videos the same way. We're licensed lenders and agents. I love making these videos, but I love more to help you with your lending or real estate needs, or any other need that you have. If there's any questions or comments or scenarios or anything that I can do to help you out, please don't hesitate to give me a call, shoot me a text or an email. And until the next video, we'll see you next time. Bye. Or you need art, you need start that over too, for fuck's sake. So St. Louis, Kansas City, go in the middle, go down. Probably not even watching this video. You're probably not even watching this video. That stuff's got to be dialed in, and then while you're figuring all that stuff. And so while you're trying to figure out all of those things, and another reason maybe not to move down here is going to be the bug game.